Can't believe they canceled that show.
Thank you for joining me today, guys, while we discuss my thoughts and feelings on the cancellation of the Chucky TV series. This is obviously something that it's been around for a minute. The news broke in September. I believe the date was September 27th. It was officially confirmed that USA and Sci-Fi would not be renewing Chucky for a season 4. And I've had a bit of time to kind of sit on that and kind of meld with it and really come to terms with it. And I've also, because of that, I haven't spoken on it yet or done this video yet. But thanks to that, though, it's kind of given me some more time to get some information, kind of really, sit on and, decide on how I feel about it, and just really kind of stew. And we do have some more info to go off on, so let's just kind of break down what we know and how we're feeling today. And to start off with, what we know is honestly not a lot. The main thing is the fact that the series has been canceled, and it will not be returning for a season 4, at least to USA or Sci-Fi the way it was. The TV series was developed by NBC Universal and then split amongst those two networks there. So as far as the ratings go, I don't want to get too into the weeds of that. I know that those ratings are out there. I know that the ratings were not bad, at least compared to other things on the Sci-Fi and USA network. So as far as comparing to other big hitter TV series, especially, the way cable TV is not as popular as it used to be, I don't exactly know how all that plays into it. But I do know the series was not doing horribly, but as far as I understand, there was a downtrend from season to season, especially with the season premieres. I remember the season 2 premiered to a pretty decent turnout, and then after that had a pretty substantial drop off. So I don't really know exactly how much the ratings play into it. So if anybody does know about that, or if there's a better breakdown of it, feel free to let me know, because again, the ratings definitely play a part of it. Obviously not enough people were tuning into it, but I'm not sure if it's the exact thing that really hit the nail in the coffin for the series entirely. I know it was doing well on Peacock, and I do know that NBC Universal pulled this really weird switcheroo where for the 3rd season it was announced that each episode is going to be on Peacock next day, which the first 2 seasons did not do, and in my opinion probably hurt the series. Because again, you guys have to understand, you at home watching this, you're watching this on the internet. Do you have cable? A lot of folks probably do, especially those still living at home, but like I myself did not have cable when the series was premiering. And so I think I'm the only one. I went out of my way to subscribe to a cable package that was bundled with my internet. I bought cable just to watch the Chucky TV series, and I don't think anybody is fucking nutty enough to really do that consistently. So it not going on Peacock immediately or next day or anything, I feel really did hurt the series. And so made it even worse when they dropped the ball on season 3. Halfway through, they say, actually, it's no longer going to be going to Peacock next day. It's going to be going to Peacock like the following week prior to the new episode or something goofy like that. Just the most weird and inconsistent release schedule that makes no sense for anybody trying to keep up with the new series that is premiering on cable and they have to watch on streaming. So again, I know it did pretty decent on Peacock. I don't have those numbers, but something that probably did not help things in the long run, and something that a lot of folks have brought into it because now there is this campaign, Save Chucky. And the Save Chucky campaign is essentially the runoff of what was originally the Renew Chucky campaign, which is something that I was a part of, especially for season 2 into 3, begging for season 3. And I wasn't as big of a part of it for, season 3 into 4. And I feel kind of bad because now it's the season that got canceled. But it has turned into Save Chucky. And this thing has gone really far, actually, a lot farther than I ever anticipated. It has been recognized by online news sites. Bloody Disgusting and Fangoria have shared it, done articles about the entire, thing of fans trying to get the series saved. Don Mancini has acknowledged it. So it's just kind of heartwarming to know that there is a lot of fans out there that genuinely loved this series, still love it, and they want to see it continue. And they've really tried to make that apparent, tried to make that voiced, and they want folks to know, hey, we want you to save Chucky. And that goes along with kind of the idea to move it to a new network. Obviously, folks are wanting it to be picked up. There was this news article that was, I guess, news, but was pretty much already confirmed, where Christine Elise herself, who plays Kyle in the series, confirmed that Don's going to be shopping it to other networks. But I believe that was essentially already confirmed. Once a series is canceled, you want to save it. So as far as I understand, it is being shopped to other networks. I don't know of anybody specific. I do know that Peacock is somebody who's had a lot of eyes on them for it. Netflix is somebody else who a lot of folks have looked at. And then also Shudder. I think Shudder would be a great option for that. But exactly that. We don't know if anybody's looking at it. We don't know if there's any offers, if any network wants it, but it is currently being shopped. So while Chucky is currently in the Save Chucky phase, the series is technically officially canceled, there is still hope amongst folks to have it saved. And this all brings me to the next topic of the new movie. A new Child's Play movie was confirmed to be in development earlier this year, I believe through an interview with Don Mancini sometime around March or so. And since then, I believe it was in August or so, Don Mancini actually posted like the trademark picture he usually posts when he's working, as far as I can tell, where it's a Chucky doll, the laptop, and a cat. It's his cat. I forgot the name of his cat. But that is the picture that seemingly gets posted each time that something is being worked on. So we knew during this year that he was writing something. Now, again, was he writing season 4? Is he writing the film? How much did Don Mancini know about this? Did he know that the series was more than likely not going to get picked up when they began talking about or thinking about a new film? Is this kind of a backup plan? We have no idea. And then there were all these rumors recently that the movie or whatever continuation would come next would not be able to continue any of the TV series storyline, which is crazy considering it's like the biggest cliffhanger ever since Cult of Chucky. And but there was this huge rumor that they weren't going to be able to use it due to some contract or rights issue between Sci-Fi and Don Mancini, and the Universal was just gonna, they were having creative differences and they were going to do a one and done that's going to just be completely unrelated to essentially the story so far. And thank Christ that Don Mancini himself came out and shut that down. He said that you will see your favorites again, and that was very exciting to me, somebody who again loved the series. I think anybody who watched the series and anybody that is still invested into the Child's Play franchise, the story so far, would be against that. I mean, a lot of folks probably don't care that much. I understand, you probably shouldn't care as much as I do, but I think a lot of folks would be bummed to see that, because the Chucky franchise is so special because of, one, the hands that develop it, the hands that create it and make it what it is behind the camera. And to have all that story that they've maintained over the past 30 plus years just kind of like wiped away right before the finish line would just, to me, just reading it left like such a sour taste in my mouth. Something I just adamantly thought could be like the worst thing for the like series at the moment. I couldn't really believe that. So the fact that it was essentially like shut down immediately, completely elated. And I don't know where those rumors came from. If anybody has any information about anything I am talking about in this video or am not talking about in this video, please feel free to hit me up. I am so down to learn as much about this as I can. I have said for years now throughout my videos that now, or I guess then, was the greatest time to be a Chucky fan, at least currently if you still loved the modern stories. Obviously there's a lot of folks who love Chucky or love the character as an idea, but their interest or their dedication to it doesn't really exceed past the first 3 films, or they really just love the first film, or they just really love that original good guy. I totally understand. Everybody has their era or has, I guess their affinity for a specific version. I don't think those people are wrong for it. And as much as those folks, though, those of us who have followed the series and enjoyed the series, I think we are invested. I'm certainly invested. I want to know what happens to the trio. I want to know what happens to the doll forms. I want to know what any of it means. The fact that Chucky and Tiffany are back together in doll form. There is such a status quo that has currently been reset in the Chucky franchise that I think no matter what we get, if we get a TV series season 4 or if we get a film, we are in a beautiful position. Like, come on, like I'm wearing an Elm Street hat and we're still nowhere near close to a new Elm Street movie or anything like that. There are horror franchises in general, people wanting to see their favorites again that are floundering. And I think we're really lucky, we have been lucky the past several years, that Chucky has survived, he's persevered, the same version, the same story. Like, and the fact that it has been confirmed to us that the one thing we know is that he will be back. We are incredibly lucky, and I think that alone is worth being thankful for. And I think that's my main feeling about the TV series being canceled. I do have like a personal affinity for the TV series, and it's the fact that, like I mentioned a moment ago, it was such a perfect time to be a Chucky fan. Just for some personal anecdotals on my feelings on this, I'm a horror fan. I love horror films. For some reason, I don't know why, they provide a catharsis for me. And it's something that I believe, I've talked about this before, I was terrified of them as a kid. Some kids grew up around horror, so they grew with it. I did not. I had to grow the spine for it. And it's something that I've carried with me throughout. It continuously evolves, facing that fear, I guess. And so to have that moment where I was 12 or 13 in 2007, 2008, and realizing that I like horror movies. I like slashers. I loved Freddy. I loved Chucky. I loved Jason. I loved Michael. They were my guys. And at that point in the 2000s, there was a little bit, we had just had a decent Texas Chainsaw remake. We were coming up on a Friday the 13th remake. Nightmare on Elm Street was getting a remake in a few years, lest we knew. And it was a time where it's weird for, I guess, a young person to think about, but I felt like I had missed it. I had felt like, oh my God, back in the day, there was a Freddy movie every year. There was a Jason movie every 3 months. That stuff was all over the place. And it was a time of slashers that I felt like I had missed for this, I guess, subgenre I just really enjoyed. And I was upset about it in a weird way. I thought, oh man, I missed it. I missed horror movies. But something I knew, the ebbs and flows of time, the Universal monsters to, the Renaissance to the slashers and what Michael Myers did to grandfather in slashers in the late 70s. That was gonna happen again. Horror wasn't dead. It's never been dead, but it does come and go throughout history. And I knew that would happen again. So fast forward to now. Fast forward to now where we are in, the 2020s. We went through the late 2010s where we had the resurgence thanks to Halloween 2018. And the Terrifier movies, frankly, have done a lot for the greater public. It's this roller coaster that people dare themselves to go into this movie for. I know that sounds bad with the Martin Scorsese analogy of a theme park, but I mean, regardless, people are sharing these movies. People are loving seeing these movies, seeing other folks' reaction to them, endorsing the creators for them. It is such an interesting scape that doesn't exist anywhere else. And so take it to present day where, we have had that. We have the horror renaissance. Halloween 2018, I think, is responsible for at least a lot of the slashers coming back. But, new Evil Dead movie within the past couple of years. We have Chucky was at the very top of this, current horror renaissance. We have so much incredible original horror right now too. Longlegs came out this year and was completely raved about. The Substance, which is one of my favorites this year, was insane. And it's all just brand new stuff. Creators are actually, they're being able to make these movies that they want to make, and horror is being looked at seriously again. And thank God for it. And at that time, during all this, since 2021, Chucky, our dude, was at the top of it. He was reigning in every Halloween season. Every year we were getting 8 fucking hours of brand new Chucky story. And I don't know at what point in time we ever could have gotten anything like that. So if you enjoyed the story, you wanted to see it truly unfold, this was the perfect time for that. And in the midst of all that, we're getting these perfect replica made dolls by Trick or Treat Studios, and NECA provided their 2 incredible dolls. What more could you ask for as a Chucky fan at that moment? That's how I felt. And that's how I currently feel. And it's because of those dolls, the Trick or Treat Studios dolls and this TV series. If you go back to the earliest videos on this channel, on Fizz TV, you're gonna find videos about those dolls and about the TV series. The 2 things that made me create Fizz TV to want to join this community, to talk to you guys about horror films, to talk to you all about Chucky specifically, was because of those 2 things. That perfect moment in time to be a Chucky fan, and in my mind. And now we're at a point in November of 2024, they're both over. There is no more Trick or Treat Studios dolls being made. There is no more TV series. It's canceled. And it's really easy to be really bitter about these things. And I think it's really easy to sit here and just be so mad because season 4 isn't happening when myself, if I did, a lot of you did, felt that it was going to happen. But that's okay. That's completely okay. Everything I've just said, that perfect moment in time, we have had so much. We are eating so good and have eaten so good as Chucky fans. What more could we truly ask for? So, at the end here, while I lament a little bit for the TV series, and again, this thing that helped me be here talking to you right now is truly special, but it didn't go away. It still exists. That thing it did for me is still there, and if anything, makes me want to share Chucky with people and horror in general with people even more. And so because of this wonderful past few years I've had, where again I've got to meet some incredible people, I've got to shake the hands of incredible people, I've got to just meet some wonderful folks that I never would have met without somebody like you watching this video. So thank you, from the bottom of my heart, thanks. Because this TV series, as silly as it was, and a lot of folks truly hated it, I truly feel it did something for me, at least made me step out of my shell a little bit, to want to join a greater conversation with some really cool people. More so than anything in this video, and how I feel in this moment, I'm thankful. We got 3 incredible seasons. That is so much more than other TV series can even dream of. So much more than any creators can even dream of. And even still, in this moment, we know it's not over. He's gonna be back. We're going to get more. So, what else can I really ask for? Because of that, because of I'm here today talking to you at Fizz TV, because of everything, I want to thank you watching this video and the folks who made this series what it was. I know they'll never see this, but Don Mancini and Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif, Alex Vincent, Christina Elise, Bjorgvin on Arson, Zachary Arthur, Olivia Allen Lind, Barbara Allen Woods, Devin Sawa, every single director of each episode, every single writer a part of that team, every set dresser, every set designer, every makeup person, every single person who worked on this series. I just can't help but to say thank you so much. Truly, thank you. It was special for several years, and whether or not we get season 4, trust me, I will be there for it. I will sign up for cable again if I fucking have to support season 4. Whatever you all do next, I'll be there for it. And because truly everything up to this point has been a dream come true. And while we wait for other slashers to come back, it is cathartic to know that our man Chucky, he's going to be back, and he's going to be back very soon. What do you guys think? Let me know how you guys feel about the Chucky cancellation and a new film coming soon. Subscribe for more Chucky coverage coming at you in the near future. Like this video if you enjoyed it. And even though it's over, again, that's 3 incredible seasons that were instant classics. And a true classic never goes out of style. Thank you all so much for watching.